Good evening and welcome. If this is your first concert, my name is Jeremy Reagan and I'm the band director here at AP Winds. We are so glad that you are with us this evening. That first selection is called March of the Toys, and it is from a very old operetta, and it's from Babes in Toyland. There was a Disney movie that is I think only available on Disney Plus unless you have the original VHS. So it is a little bit of an older selection, but I think it still is a great way to start our Christmas selection, just thinking about toys and childhood. Speaking of, our next selection is going to be different pieces from the movie The Polar Express. So please welcome to the stage my assistant director, Mr. Michael Watanabe. So now is the time to find your program or dig deep into your memory. So I don't know if you've seen this at every band concert in the world, but around Christmas time, we like to, it looks like the lyrics will be on the screen also, so if that's helpful for you. But on the back of your program, you should have lyrics. We're going to do a little sing-along with you. So we are going to play the pieces, and I'll turn around and start you. There may be a couple of measures in between each piece, so just look up and I'll show you when each one starts. But go ahead and, yes, I hear you clearing your throat. Perfect. Warm up those voices. All right, here's our holiday sing-along. All right, when we start the AP Wins chorus, you are first call. You are on the list, roster, ready, and hired. So one of the joys of the Christmas season is just to share music with one another. I think that most of us in our memories of the Christmas season, music is tied in some way or another, whether it be through a movie or through singing with someone that we love, etc. This group of people behind you, they are all volunteers. They show up after work. They show up after school. I do not give them a grade. They pay to be here. So this is an all-volunteer group, and aren't they doing wonderfully tonight? I figure if I'm going to be grumpy with them about the key signature every week, I might as well thank them publicly. So they are fantastic people. I'm grateful to get to work with them every single week. For our next selection, we're going to dig further into the joy of the Christmas season for a classic. This is Sleigh Ride. So much of what you've heard so far has been some fairly traditional Christmas music, and we're going to depart from that and do something that you may or may not have heard next. However, we're going to have our guest conductor come up to direct the next couple of pieces. So I would like to introduce you to him. If you've been in the area, you may have heard him or seen him conduct before. This was in college, my professor when I was learning how to conduct, learning how to play in band, all those sorts of things in college. His resume is impressive. I think if I said the whole thing, we would be here all night. And so I'm going to spare him the reading of everything he's done in his life. However, he has done everything you could probably think of in the band world and has done it to excellence. So without further ado, here is Dr. David Gregory.
It's great. I'm live. It's great to be here this evening, and thanks to Jeremy, thanks to all these people. A quick word about adult bands. I love adult bands. Absolutely. And the reason is they don't have to be here. They don't have to be here at all. And my thought behind it is they do this because they did that. Somewhere in their past, they came in contact with an influential teacher, a new musical experience, something that kind of hooked them. And they want to continue to do that because it was just good. It felt right. So they do this because they did that. And they sacrifice their time, give up family time, work around their job hours around it. So I really am a fan of adult bands. And one quick word about the last selection before I go to the next one. I had a friend, a very close friend, for years that conducted an adult band on the south side of town, and he came every year to the Christmas concert for one reason. Sleigh ride, but more specifically in sleigh ride, not the whip crack. He came every year to hear the horse whinny. Every year he kept saying, I'll wait through everything else just to get the horse whinny. And so in his honor, once we had all the trumpet sections stand at the same time and do the horse whinny. And it may have run him off. But anyway, he loved the horse whinny more than anything else. And we've even experimented with a horse whip. And we would have the audience clap at the time when the horse whipped. That may be the time most of the audience was most excited, especially the younger people, old people, and the young old and the old young. Everybody loved the horse whip. Everybody likes to do that. And I was in the concert last Sunday afternoon, like this when they played Sleigh Ride, watching the people in the audience when it came time for the horse snap. People were popping the legs. Everybody wants to be part of the sleigh ride. But enough about that. So come back next time and hear the horse and the horse whinny mainly. Sussex Mummers Christmas Carol. Who knows what that is? I don't. The first time I heard the title, saw the title, I thought, I don't have any idea what that means. But I began to look into it some. And Sussex Mummers Christmas Carol Obviously, it's a special time because, we as as a society are a society of storytellers. We pass along our society and our history through stories, written stories, oral histories, but our stories sometimes are passed along through music. And in more investigation of the Sussex brought me up to some limited knowledge of it. A Germanic population, some 5th or 6th century, settled in the southern part of England, and they maintained their German heritage and their German stories and their music. And this Sussex Mummers Christmas Carol, in keeping with the thought that this time of the year, this season, whether you're celebrating as a whatever religion or variation of religion, you're celebrating this time of the year. And what it is really is a season of second chances. We get to do some things, a chance to do something new, different, refresh ourselves. And I think the Sussex Mummers Christmas Carol was an old Sussex carol sung by the German people. 3 verses. First was a prayer. Bless the man of the house. May he always be healthy, his health be strong, so he can help his family. Bless the wife of the household. May her golden charms show up every day, that she tends her children, her husband, and keeps things strong. And bless the children and the animals, the farm animals. Bless us all. Make things better. And the beautiful, beautiful melody you'll hear. Well, enough about that. Sussex Mummers Christmas Carol is a delightfully beautiful Christmas carol that's been around for a long time, at least since the 5th or 6th century. Sussex Mummers Christmas Carol. I did want to mention, and I forgot it obviously, the arranger of that selection was a gentleman I met some 45 years ago when I was 3. I met him when I was had moved to Florida to teach there, and he was an arranger of band music. He came around and said, "I've got something you need to read. You need to see this." And you'd see him every so often. He'd have something new. And this one he did maybe 15, 20 years ago. Wonderful work, wonderful work. So it's especially nice to me to be able to perform something arranged by a person I knew. Which brings me to the next 2 selections that we perform back to back: Russian Christmas music and Celtic Carol. Yeah. The first one, Russian Christmas music, was arranged by Alfred Reed. Dr. Reed was the staff arranger for the United States Air Force Band many years ago. I came in contact with him, began to have a friendship relationship with him, probably in the mid-'70s, late '70s, early '80s. We were able to work together a good bit afterwards. I was even able to premiere some of the works he had composed. But one of the favorite ones, one of the most favorite of all, at this time of the year, is the Russian Christmas music. It's quite lengthy. We're only going to play half or so of it. So it's the fun part, the exciting part. We're going to play that part. And it goes immediately into a Celtic Carol, which you'll recognize the melody, of course. The thing about that one is arranged by a very dear friend who passed away less than 2 years ago, Robert W. Smith. He was on the campus with us at Reinhardt. He was there a couple of times to conduct. Wonderful friend of ours of music. He arranged Celtic Carol. These 2 composers featured with the same selection. Interestingly, Alfred Reed writes quite difficult music, as you'll hear in a moment. His most purchased piece is Armenian Dances Part 1. That's a very advanced piece. It's in grade 6 music, which is the top grade. Robert and I were having a discussion several years ago, and he said, Alfred Reed's Armenian Dances Part 1 is a best-selling grade 6 piece of music in America. It says 6,000 copies in America. And I thought, that's a lot. That's a lot of bands, 6,000 copies. Robert said, one of my selections, Into the Storm, he'd written, he said, in January, we were talking in February, he said, in January, it just printed its 20,000th copy. That's even more money. So we have Alfred Reed, who is the top salesperson of the grade 6 literature, and Robert W. Smith, who certainly is one of the top sales of his level music. Combining these 2, lots of fun to play. You'll hear some great sonorities from the group, some great melodies you'll enjoy hearing. You'll recognize a number of them. And before we play, once again, my thanks to Jeremy, to this ensemble, for allowing me to come here and follow them through and have some fun with them and make music. And thanks to you for showing up on a Saturday, right? This is Saturday. You kind of lose track of what day we are, and today we have to go Christmas shopping. But thanks for being here. It's a delight to be around people that enjoy making music, and thanks to them for liking music so much that they'll give part of their time, a lot of their time, to play as adults. Russian Christmas music and a Celtic Carol.
A couple of quick housekeeping notes for you. First off, we would like to thank Heritage Fellowship. They have been a host for us for several years, and they have had us for both 4th of July and Christmas. And the past few years, they have also been hosting our rehearsals downstairs. So they're an excellent host. They're a great member of this community, and they really are a tribute to the quality of the people that live here in Waleska. So a round of applause for them, please. Second, immediately following our concert, you are invited downstairs to a cookie reception. So when you head out these back doors and you make an immediate left, there's a staircase that will take you downstairs. It is a little steep, so if you might be mobilely challenged and you would like to drive around, it's an easier ride to the back. There are closed parking spaces at the back. So whatever makes your life easier, please feel free to take that. Those cookies and et cetera have been provided by the group, and we are very excited to host you and to have some time to just chat with you after the concert. So please come hang out with your friends, enjoy a bit of Christmas spirit. I want to make a quick other note. We are an all-volunteer group, and if you play an instrument or used to play an instrument, we would love to have you. Or if you know somebody that it sounds like this would be a great group for them. Our website is on the program, so if you need a copy of that, just keep up with it. It is apwins.org, or you can email us. But if you go to apwins.org, on that main page, there are 2 links. There's one where you can sign up for information, weekly rehearsal information if you want to join the group. And there's one right below it that says Friends of AP Wins. And we try to mail out information about our concerts about a month or 2 weeks before the show. So if you want to sign up for either one of those, we would love to have you. Lastly, on your way out, we will have some lovely children who have some baskets for you. We are a nonprofit, and all we do is perform music for the public, and music costs money, and we have a lot of percussion equipment back there, and we would love for some of you to come and play some of it so you don't have to hear me anymore. But also, we need to keep that percussion equipment in good working order. So if you have some extra cash this holiday season, we would love to take that off of your hands for a good cause. But if you do not have any, please don't worry about it. This is a free service to the community. So we appreciate all that you've done. Our final selection is going to be A Most Wonderful Christmas, and it is a hodgepodge of several tunes that have been smashed together by Robert Sheldon, another wonderful composer and arranger that we had visit with us at Reinhardt. So I hope that you have a most wonderful Christmas. Thank you so much. The cookies should be ready downstairs. We will see you there. Have a wonderful holiday.